Hi, I'm Omni Sunday. Colors are an important part of most people's lives, even if you don't realize it. What if I told you that one was better than the rest? I've been an artist for years, and even before I knew how to color inside the lines, I was always interested in learning about the colors themselves and how they interact with each other. So, magenta is the best color. Depending on your line of work, this could be a big deal, but even if it's not, I hope it's at least interesting. So, magenta is the best color because of its uniqueness, physics, and symbolism. Before I start, I'll define magenta as an even mixture of red and blue on the light spectrum. Anyway, let's start with uniqueness. Magenta is a unique color. Now, you might be thinking, all colors are unique, that's the point. Well, you're not exactly wrong, but you're not exactly right either. You might have heard that red is the most eye-catching color. So, if you look outside, nearly every restaurant is colored red, because it's the most eye-catching color, according to beinghuman.org. But if every restaurant is red, then is red really that eye-catching anymore? I propose magenta as the new most eye-catching color, since it still has everything about red, but additionally everything about blue. Other than uniqueness in branding, magenta is also unique in the light spectrum. If you look at the light spectrum, you might notice that it goes from red to blue. Between those are green, and between the three are yellow and cyan. You might notice that the light spectrum doesn't cover the mix of red and blue. That's how magenta is unique, and you might have noticed that I already got a little into physics, which I'll explain better now. I promise I'll keep it simple. Magenta interacts with the world differently than any other color. So, like I said, it's not on the light spectrum. How does that work? So, the way we see color is that we have three different types of cones in our eyes, which is a type of cell. These cones detect wavelengths of light and translate them to either red, green, or blue. If a wavelength between green and blue hits your eyes, both your green and blue cones will activate, helping you see cyan. But separate wavelengths of green and blue will have the same effect. What does this have to do with magenta? Although it doesn't technically exist as a color, according to Medium.com, it activates in our brains when red and blue wavelengths hit our eyes. Magenta is also very efficient for greenhouses. Chlorophyll is green, meaning it reflects green and absorbs other wavelengths. Considering the fact that the sun emits the most light in the green part of the spectrum, according to NASA, a lot of this light is being reflected, which isn't very efficient. According to UCSC Science Notes, one can save a lot of energy in a greenhouse either by using magenta lights or putting magenta glass panes over natural light. All this makes magenta very cool and awesome. So, now that you know the uniqueness of magenta in science, what about symbolism? There's a lot of symbolism behind the color magenta. As we've discussed, magenta is an even mix of red and blue. Most of us know red to represent passion or anger, and blue generally represents peace and calm. To me then, magenta represents both at the same time, something that technically doesn't exist, and I just think that's neat. So, I googled symbolism of magenta to see what other people thought. As I expected, you could probably give me any possible meaning, and I could find someone online who agrees with you. Even just on colormeanings.com, it names like a million different characteristics. Kindness, change, character, harmony, passion, power, romance, intensity. I'm going to pretend all the other colors don't say the exact same thing, and chalk this one up to magenta being the best color. So, now that we all agree and know that magenta is the best color, let's wrap this up. In conclusion, magenta is the best color due to its uniqueness, interaction with physics, and symbolism. If you plan on owning a business, consider using the color magenta. If you're not sure what color you should buy for an accessory or an article of clothing, consider magenta. At the very least, I hope this will make you think about magenta and the meaning behind it next time you see it, and even for other colors. Consider the color that doesn't exist. Thanks for listening. And here's a dinosaur I animated to help you collect your thoughts. Thanks for watching!